I hit start before I hooked up the mics, so bear with me here while I get this ready here. It's been a little bit since I've done a live. Left the AI tripod off the charger, so unfortunately we're going to be on a static tripod today. Alright, let's get that plugged in. There's that. And give me one moment here while I change some stuff. Alright, having some issues here. What's up, Blake? Working anymore. So give me a moment here, guys. Figure this out. There we go. Looks like it's back on now. I got a little indicator light on there. Tells me when the mics are connected. There we go. All right. We're back. There we go. So today we don't have a lot to do. I've just got 4 boards to shape for customers, and then I've got a couple for myself. We'll see what happens when we get to that. So it's going to be some of the bigger boards. If you're new to the channel, this is Life Skateboards being made right here in Indiana. You're going to see some massive skateboards, but we make everything. Popsicles, you name it. Shapes, punk points, the knife, rocket. Everything you see on the walls here is a shape template. So that's how the shapes are cut out. Some of the examples of the monsters that we'll be shaping today will be like this guy. Why? Because why not? If you want to see one of these in action, you can go check me skating the Mega Roll XL on the channel there. I posted a little edit of that. But all right, I'm going to kind of walk you guys through what happens here. Thanks, Rock Fan. Kind of walk you guys through what happens here at Life. So we do everything in-house here. I'm going to bring you guys over into the pressing and gluing room. So here's where we sort all the veneer right here. And we glue it up by hand right here. As you can see, the remnants of where veneer was while I was gluing and missing the veneer. These are the presses. The boards go in the press for 24 hours and then cure for 7 days in a stack of their own concave like this. Once they're cured, Sam, the owner, puts the truck holes in right here on this drill press using one of these templates here, and then uses one of these shape templates to cut out the shape right here. Now once he cuts out the shape, this is what the board looks like. So that edge is not at a 90 to the concave. We need it to be to round it off. So that's the first thing we're going to do. So as we go through this shaping, we're going to bring that edge to a 90 here on the belt sander, round it off on the router, clean it up a little bit further on the drum, which has an air bladder that I need to go air up. So give me a moment after I'm showing you this. Then over to the Mac wheel or flap sander, whatever you want to call it. And the last step over here is the Orbital sander. We have this hooked up to a HEPA-approved dust extractor, so you'll see me wearing a respirator for everything else besides that one there. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. That's what I'm here for, and you guys can get these boards at lifeskateboard.com. I'm at work, my friend. Doesn't really matter. Wait till I put a respirator on. There will be something else on my face. Let me go grab the compressor hose and be right back in here. This has an air bladder in it. Want it to have some give, but still be pretty full. All right, gonna go shut off this compressor so it doesn't jump scare us in the middle of working. All right, let's get to it here. We're gonna start off with this massive board here and go from here. Thanks, bud. It's true. I actually have a mirror in the other room just so I don't end up having nasty shit on my face when I get in here. Do we get much from the storms? Hold on. Yes, we did. So if you guys didn't know, we had a little tornado watch this morning until about 3 a.m. I'm doing all right. And then I got up this morning and it was snowing sideways. And then I left the house and it was sunny. And when I got here, it wasn't snowing very much. I went to go throw some trash out before I started this and it's snowing sideways again. Whoever is holding the switch on the weather here, can you just like make it consistent? I mean, it's Indiana, so it's gonna suck, but if you can make it consistent through the day, I'd appreciate it. Yep, these boards are at lifeskateboard.com. You can support an active maker at lifeskateboard.com. You'll be able to get exactly what you want, and you know the guys that made it, so. All right, just removing some of this tape here, and we'll bring this edge to a 90 with the board. There's not really a lot of material to remove on the rail edge of the board. That's mainly just cleaning it up to make sure we have less work down the line. I'm gonna bring you guys over this way, get you a little close. Why are the skateboard big? Because, why not? We make everything. We make boards from 7.75 all the way to 14.6. Again, if you wanna see an edit of me skating that, you can go check out the short that I posted. I tray flipped one of these last week. My shins were not happy with me. Cut that down for a short for later. Nice, have fun in Tampa. Do we make regular skateboards? Yep, we make absolutely everything. You want an 895 by 36? You should go to our website and check out the things in the 9.5 range. All these things you see on the wall here, of course I have you guys angled so you can't see them. All of those, all of those, all that going that way, that, and all of these are all shape templates, so you can get exactly what you want. Yeah, if you have any questions about the website, let me know. It's lifeskateboard.com. It's a pretty hefty website where you can get exactly what you want, so. Just about done. There we go. I'm gonna clean up the nose and tail and move on to the next step. And there's a point in this process where I'm over there without the Orbital on. So if I'm missing any questions, feel free to ask again. I'm here to answer them for you. Let's get you guys over to the Mac wheel, clear off a little bit of space here. And then, like I said, if you have any questions and I'm missing them, make sure you ask again when we're over on the Orbital where I can keep up with you guys a little bit better. Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. Alrighty. Let's get you guys over here to the Orbital. Like I said, we have this hooked up to a HEPA approved dust extractor, which means I don't have to wear a respirator on it, and I can talk to you guys a little bit better. Lowering the tripod real quick and it disconnected. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just now catching up with this. Is it important to go to a skate park? If you have one, you can use it. But the cool thing about skateboarding is it can happen anywhere. That's the best part of it. You don't need a skate park to skate a curb. But if you want like transition skating and stuff like that, definitely will. It's going all right, Nicole. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, if I'm missing any of your guys' questions, please feel free to ask again. So this final step here is just bringing everything to a 150 and removing any excess glue, cleaning up the edges here, all that fun stuff. Eggshell peeling stream. Neat. You're a little early. No, I don't have an egg to shape today. Oops. I'm a bro. Yes, I have a sister. Does that count? 150, yep. So we're finishing this with a 150. It's the nice sweet spot where the graphic blocks don't slide around when we print them, and it's still a good smooth finish. If you don't know how we apply our graphics here at Life Skateboards, we apply them with hand-carved Lino blocks. We commission local artists to carve the relief image. And here is an example of one of them I cut out of a board with a jigsaw for fun. This is my dog, Lori. There you go. Can you offer me a nice egg in this trying time? Only if it's green. happy with the It's Always Sunny references. I've watched that show way too many times to not call them out there. I don't know who that is. Sometimes the excess glue on the top ply is a little heavy. It requires a little more love, but you can't get to it with any of the other equipment, so we get to it here. Especially when it's sitting in the pocket like this. There we go. I'm just bad at paying attention to things. This step obviously takes a little bit more time when there's this much surface area on a giant skateboard. San Francisco, thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the channel here, you're watching Life Skateboards made. The website is lifeskateboard.com. Give me a second here. I'll even hold it up. Yeah, I wrote this backwards. Don't think I'm really good at writing stuff backwards. I wrote it the right way and then traced it so you guys could see it. There's the website. Go check it out. The more boards you order, the easier life is for me. And you get to see them shaped here live. So. I am not the owner of the company. I am the sole hourly employee of Life Skateboards. The owner, Sam, works with me. He cuts out all the shapes, makes all the templates, handles the orders, and he might even pop into this live. Who knows? This is the first job I've ever had where I'm excited when my boss hops in to watch me. All right, about halfway done with this side. Boston. We're in New Pal, Indiana, just 20 minutes east of Indianapolis, smack dab in the middle of the state. We had a team rider out your way for a while there. I know he's dealing with his own stuff right now, but Andrew Allen used to ride for us. We still have a signature graphic for him. It was great to be on the team with him. And if he ever decides to take a step back into things, I'm sure he'll be welcome here. Oh, I was supposed to talk about this on the live stream. My bad, guys. So if you're not familiar with Slam City Skate Park, it's an indoor in Fort Wayne. It's got concrete obstacles. It's really rad. They just did a power hour thing where you go up there. Dan, one of the owners, points a camera at you for an hour. You do whatever you can to make an edit. I'm in that, but please go subscribe or follow Slam City Skate Park on Instagram so you can check all those out. And yeah, there's Aiden's got posted today. There's quite a bit coming. I know it's like based on views for who wins or whatever, but I just want you all to go watch everybody's. Get as much traffic over that way as you can. That's Slam City Skate Park. I'm excited to see mine. I haven't even seen any of the clips that I got for my power hour. I was just in the mode of landing stuff, so. jump 5 times for $100 if you go ahead and donate $100. Do it first. Or you can put that money to good use and order a Life Skateboard at lifeskateboard.com. That's a much better use of your money. I'm not goofy, I'm sorry. You are watching me through a mirrored screen right now, so I guess if I skated right now, it would look like I'm skating goofy. If that gives you any solace in the matter there. But no, I'm regular, sorry. The boss man is goofy footed though. So is Blake. Look at that. I think he is. Isn't Sam goofy? I hope Sam gets in here so he can correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while. It's been a while since we got some employee boss couples doubles clips. I just said couples clips. Sorry, Sam. So this last step here is just kind of cleaning up the rail on the board. You'll see the technique change when I get to the nose and tail to stay with the grain. We're gonna play a game too. After every board, we're gonna go peek outside and see how crazy the weather's changed. All right? That sounds like a fun little game. It's my Welcome to Indiana game right there. Good to go. The reason they call Goofy Goofy is because there was an animation put out by Disney where Goofy was riding that way on a surfboard when everyone else was riding a different direction. And so it coined the term Goofy for surfing, and obviously that has kind of shifted over for skateboarding. The more you know. Look at that. I'm full of random information about skateboarding, I promise. Yep. That would be why. And it's what's really strange to me is in the animation, he goes both directions. It's just that his feet don't switch. It's just lazy animation gave us the term goofy for that. Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. In a moment here, I'll show you the job that you could never work. So here's how it looks right now. All right, we're doing a game on checking the weather. If you want to lower your tone and stick around, you can. But we're doing cool stuff here. But all right. So there we go, there's check number 1. I made you lose the game? Well, you made me lose the game, and now I'm gonna make everybody else that's watching lose the game. Sorry, guys. My bad. It's his fault, all right? A little bit more love on this guy here, I'm noticing. Wasn't me, ran away pretty quick now, didn't he? Not here to watch cool stuff? Well, that's all right. You can find pictures of me anywhere to stare at if you'd like, buddy. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. This is the tedious part where I'm removing tape. Well, you see, Mercs, I've come up with a theory, I think. There's a lot of people that hop on here and try to tell me things like, you'll never get a job with those face tattoos. Meanwhile, this is my job. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if it's, oh, I'm not letting it get to me. These things are here forever. I'm used to it. I'm just trying to understand sometimes, like, what makes these, it's usually men saying stuff about it. What makes these men think that I do things to my body for their benefit? Like, come on now. I don't get it. That's so strange to me. They must be doing things to their body for other men's benefit, but I don't know. I'm doing stuff for how I like me to look, so. It is what it is. Be yourself. Stop judging other people for the way they look. It's really silly, especially from behind a computer screen. Absolutely, there you go, to each their own. I say that one a lot. Most of the time, it's to each their own until it starts affecting other people. I don't think the way that I look affects other people. Moving right along here. I'm gonna be smart and bring you guys around on a chair so I don't have to keep readjusting that. You know what's crazy? Well, it's not that crazy. I did concrete a couple times with the Amish over in Westfield. They weren't too mad at me about the way I looked. It's almost like they don't care. It's almost like their rules only apply to them. You know what I mean? It's a great way to live, isn't it? Am I the squirrel guy? No, I'm not. But I know a guy that goes by Curb Squirrel. If you're just now joining, you're watching Life Skateboards be made. So we do everything in-house here. Did someone say, can you please send me invite to you? I don't know what that means. But we do everything in-house here, so this is just Life Skateboards being made. You can go to lifeskateboard.com, get exactly what you want. You're likely going to see it shaped live here. We press the boards in the other room, apply graphics after we're done here. I might even have time to apply one of my own graphics today. We will see about that. All right, let's drag you guys over this way here. Hey, Hate Skates, what's up, Freddy? I genuinely don't know what an invite to me is. That's super strange. I'm a little scared. What am I getting invited to? I'm so sorry, my friend. Like, I'm glad you're watching from all the way to the other side of the world, but I'm not. What is an invite? You can subscribe. Then you're invited to watch this. Moving on to the Mac wheel, and then we got it over on the Orbital. If I'm missing any of your questions, feel free to ask again when we get over to the... Uh-oh, you guys disconnected from the... Dang, did I miss something? Just skateboards, yep. They all answered you correctly there. I don't surf, I don't snowboard, I just skate. So I would hope your skateboard maker skates. I hope your surfboard maker surfs. Hope your snowboard maker snowboards. I hope everyone in an industry like this that is making something like this uses the thing they make. Alrighty. And let's get to it here. How much do they cost? You got $75 for popsicles, and then shapes go up from there. The one with the dips in the side, that would probably be the aggro. We have that in two different shapes, the aggro and the aggro extreme. These boards on the wall, remember, are just shape templates, not boards themselves. Canadian maple. Great Lakes are Canadian is what we specifically say. There is a little bit in the UP that is good. Why do you want stuff from Canada or Great Lakes and not just like any maple? Reason for that, something with slow growth and long winters creates a tighter grain and a less porous wood. You order at lifeskateboard.com. I'm sorry if I didn't get through all the prices there. $75 for popsicles, shapes go up from there. You can add things on like wheel wells, extra plies, all kinds of stuff. The spiky one. I have some older edits on that one. It's not bad at all. With really good concave, any shape is easy to skate. Honestly, it's the squarish, it's this like rounded corner square tail that I had to get used to when I was skating this thing. You can have a funky shape with really good concave and still be able to skate it. Do I ever skate that one? I don't think I have any newer videos of me skating the aggro, but I did just post an edit on the 14.6. That one's not as spiky and crazy, but it is right there. That's, yeah, see, and are you in Canada or are you in, because, I mean, I'm in Indiana. We still have maple, but it's not good maple. Somebody get me a Russian translator right now for this guy. Please, did I get that right? Did I just say something wrong? Let me go back and double check myself here. I may have. Nope, look at that. I needed a Russian translator, guys. I will say that like there was a period of time where there were some companies using Baltic birch composite, not good for skateboards. There we go. A geographical region close to you that makes sense of what I say. That sentence didn't make sense to me after it came out of my mouth, so it's been a while. If you guys can forgive my inability to talk clearly, it's been a little bit since I've done a live, so sorry. But if you guys have any questions about board making, you want to see anything in the shop here, feel free to ask. I've only got 2 more customer boards to finish here today. Then I'll jump to one of my boards and hopefully have time to do the graphic on it tonight so I can have something to skate in the next couple of days. What's cool is one of these customer orders is actually for a shape that I designed, so. Nope, it's not. It's also just bad for skateboards. It was just a easily acquirable filler. We ain't doing that here though. So here's an example right here. So there's some excess glue right here from whoever pressed this. It was me. So removing it with this because none of the other tools can reach it. Birch is a hardwood. It's not good for skateboards. See, this is why I have the chat. I just don't say things I don't know very loudly, and then you guys come in here with the real answer after you Googled it for me, and you're there. I know my maple. How is the skate scene in Russia? You guys have a lot of skate parks, or what's up with that? I have no clue. I am entirely ignorant to it. hickory smells really good. So like right up here, so this whole shop was an empty shell when we moved in. Right up here is the loft. There is a ton of lumber and different species of wood up there. I only work with maple for skateboards. There's a snake in a spider web. It is pretty good for smoking barbecue, though, isn't it? Running into your mouth. That's an open, you got a open mouth right there. You can get your eyes checked, my friend. My favorite thing about this is if anybody gets mad at you for snaking in a park, you'd be like, hey, tattoo a snake on your face and you can snake people too. Is anybody gonna argue with that? No, exactly. So there we go. Perfect. Quack. Yeah, see, that's the secret. It was supposed to be a duck, and they just did it real bad, so I just say it's a snake so I can make that joke. Good call out there. Good job, bud. I'm proud of you, Robert. A little more love. How is it handmade if you're using an electric sander? You want to see what's guiding this electric sander? Hold on, look real close. This is a hand. Explaining is necessary. Did I miss something? Yeah, this is my job. Sorry. Yeah, critical thinking is a skill. I'm here to help you do it, not do it for you. I'll nudge you toward a critical thought with my smart-ass attitude. And I'll keep nudging. And I'll keep nudging. Hey, thanks, bud. I appreciate you. Wow, thank you, cooking. You're rad. I am just trying to like that. How do you just like it? Come on now. Let me hit the like and the heart button. There we go. It was trying to make me report you for that. That was dumb. Stupid YouTube. Right on. You don't need thinking help from a man who's making skateboards for a living. Right on. That's fine. Go elsewhere. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. That's a different person. Wow. Idiots really like to congregate together, don't they? You know, I don't know you, but it seems to be a very consistent situation where the men that have something to say about how I look are just very alone. It's very strange to me. Because like, I guarantee if I look into it, you've got some heartbreak recently, and that's why you're judging how other men look. But I promise you, man, I'm not a threat to you. I'm gonna get back to work, though. We do also make longboards as well. We've got 3 different shapes. We've got the drop down, the surfer, and the stretched panhead. Was conditional to power tools. I don't even understand. Yep, you want to see the surfer longboard. So I'm going to grab these templates. They are not the boards themselves. Remember that. These are the templates that cut the shape out. You caught me on a good day here, so I have time to show you. So this is the template for the surfer right here. A little bit longer. There you go. And then I will take you into this other room where you can see the longboard press. And I believe there might be a couple in there. I'm the only one that loads them, so. Drop downs are pretty sick. Like I said, we don't do drop throughs, just drop downs. Yep, I've got 2 drop downs in the press right now. So as you can see, there's the drop down. These guys are curing in the press. Down here below, this is our flat press. So this is where the surfer comes out of. There you go. I'm stupid. Hey everybody, let Waterbud know what you think about Buddy, you haven't raised any questions that actually matter. Go back and read your comments and tell me something that I've been able to answer. None of those were questions. What's going on here? You haven't asked a question. You can go ahead and get out of here. You haven't asked me a single question and your butt hurt walking away, but goodbye. Anyway, if any of you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. That was super strange. I'm really sick and tired of catching everybody's little weird issues popping up on here, but I'm making skateboards, handcrafting skateboard decks right here on the channel for you. You can find them at lifeskateboard.com. Oh man, that was so strange. This is a big board, yes. I have no clue. Yeah, dude, I'm so confused about what happened. Thank you, guys. I'm still trying to scroll back. Did someone just have like a full-on like mental break in my chat here? Are they okay? Can someone check on them? I hope somebody go check on them, because that was weird. That was really weird. I wasn't asked a question and then I was called two-faced. That was super strange. Do we ever carve out the bottom so there's no wheel bite? You were asking the right questions today. Let me show you the cool thing that Sam designed. I'm gonna drag it in here real quick. I don't think we're getting to my boards or my graphics today. Might end up just doing that tomorrow. This is a horse specifically for wheel wells. So Sam designed this, it's really cool. This is made out of a bushing, a jig, and the base plate of a truck. So what he does is he puts the board in right here. There's hardware for the front truck bed. And then, where's the tool? Where did it go? Uh-oh. I'm not the one that does the wheel wells. Here it is. And then this is a drum attachment for a drill. You can see right there. Runs this piece right into the jig, drops it right down where it needs to go, and then Sam does it by eye. I do my own wheel wells, but Sam does all the customer wheel wells. Very consistent, really nice looking. And let me bring you guys in here so you can see an example of them. Sam is the master woodworker behind everything here at Life Skateboards. I wouldn't be here doing this or have anything to do with this if it weren't for him. I am noticing people come on here to abuse people, but I don't know. The people that stick around, you guys are rad. So, yeah, I don't know. If I sift through the annoying people, there are some really cool people on here that have been here since like day one. I end up getting close with some of the subscribers here, especially when they become customers, and I really like that. Here's an example of a beautiful wheel well job right here. Now, when you get wheel wells, you can get just front or both. That is a rocket, by the way. That is an old stain of veneer that we no longer have. Maple. Great Lakes or Canadian maple. If you're using anything else, you're making a crappy skateboard. That's my opinion. How long does it take a skateboard? You've got 24 hours in the press, 7 days cure time. And then just shaping, graphics, and then you gotta take a step back if there's an issue with the board like splitting, warping, or anything like that, and we'll start from scratch, go again. That was a lot of words to say in one breath. I don't know why I did that. All right, we're just touching up these rails here, and then we will move on to the next board. Do we color the wood? So some of the veneer does come stained. A lot of it comes natural, but then we can roll the bottom with ink. Like I said, we apply all of our graphics by hand with hand-carved lino blocks. We can use that same ink to roll all the way across the board. I don't know if I have, yeah, here. This is an old board of mine. Don't mind the damage. Ooh, crap. This was a natural board that rolled pink, printed purple on it, little pattern on there. I shot it a bunch of times, but we're gonna ignore that part. This is one of my old riders. This is the Casper 2.0. Since then I've narrowed down the nose a bit, or narrowed down the width a little bit, widened up the nose, and tamed down the tail. Can you have a board? Absolutely. Just go to lifeskateboard.com, order a skateboard. You'll get exactly what you want. Two to 3 weeks turnaround is what we say most of the time, Blake, and that's just because if we have an issue with it. We tend to beat that, but if we have an issue with it, we want to make sure that we have the time to take care of the issue. Thank you, Grassy. Do I even skate? Nah, man, not at all. I just decided to work in an industry that barely makes any money because I don't care about it. That's me. No, of course I skate. I've been skating for 23 years. Do we sell complete boards? Yep, there's actually an option on our website that says Make My Life Complete, where we'll put matching trucks, wheels, and everything on there. Sam owned a skate shop in the early 2000s. What's up, Juggalo? Thanks for hopping on here, bud. We only got a couple to do here today. A couple left. Got this guy and then a Casper 3.0. All right. You want to get your friend a Metallica board? Are you talking about the Palo Peralta boards? Make sure you get one from the Skate One warehouse and not the one from their partners in China. Hey, thanks, Dallas. I'm glad it's nice and chill in here. It might. I would check with if Powell already did that. I know they released a couple of the Metallica boards. As long as they're flight decks, they're pretty rad. I'm gonna have some opinions on those boards as a board maker, but people like them. Who is the greatest skateboarder in the world today? Like, skateboarding currently? I have an opinion on that, and it's Tom Starr. That's my opinion. He just did a bunch of that barely got recognized. And him skating the spider bowl is insane. I'm gonna grab my cleaner here. Oops. You guys, how long has the mic been unplugged? Casper that's a no. Not me. Unless you're talking about like Casper Brooker. It ain't me, I'll tell you that. I just love this thing. Bear with me here. I'm gonna fix my hair so I don't die. I'm gonna turn that into a short. People are gonna have a aneurysm getting mad at me about my hair down. There we go. Let's get over here to the Mac wheel. Huh. Really quickly, I'm going to touch something up here. All right. Bring you guys over this way. And chat in just a minute here. Answer any questions, and if I don't get your question, make sure to ask again. Over on the Orbital. All right, oops, mic's unplugged again. Really need to mess with the port on my phone apparently. What is that, an 11-inch board? We've got them up to 14.6, so. Right at 13, this is a 13-inch board. Good eye. Yeah, so this is, all right, I'm gonna not try to insult people, but there are other boards this size on the market. And if you look at them real close, it looks like somebody set a popsicle in the middle of it and just satellite dished out to the edge. Like they didn't expect people to skate the board like a normal board. So we made sure that we had wheel flares all the way to the edge, concave coming down this way. Yeah, as you can see, that's a deep concave. If you want to see one of these getting skated, you can go to my channel. I posted a short with the, it was actually a 14.6. It was an inch wider than this one. Had some fun with that. Never done, let me think about that. I did switch nose pick for the first time with no grab. Heel flipping a big board is pretty rad. Let me see, I think nollie heel happened on one of these with Chuck Bennett. Thanks, Eros. I try to not be mean about it because they did put some gigantic skateboards on the market, but and plus they gave us something to fix, you know what I mean? Yeah, these are very different by contrast. So we have our own press for this one. It's 15-inch wide press. We can get 14.6 out of it. We've got several shapes for them. The Aggro Extreme, the Mega Roll and Mega Roll XL, Mega Twin and Mega Twin XL, the Triple and Quadruple XL Panhead. If you ever saw a clip of Bam Margera skating around the castle with a really, really big board, when he was like jokingly throwing his arms to pump and stuff, that was on one of these. Our biggest board before this was 11.75, so I was super excited for us to do these. I should make a guitar on live. So I don't swear on dead men. I think that's silly to swear on dead people. But I don't play guitar, so you won't catch me making guitar on live, sorry. These are for customers. As a customer of the skateboarding industry, I would expect the person making my board to skate. The same should go for guitars or musical instruments, things like that, in my opinion. If you play guitar, there you go. You can go make guitars. If you don't, probably don't take that job away from somebody that's their dream, you know what I mean? You might be right there, Grassy. Mine look awful. spins are really easy. I was surprising myself on one of those big boards in a game of skate. And I showed up to the park, I think it was, God, when was that? It was about, what, like 5 days ago? Showed up to the park with one of these and no other board. And was just playing games of skate with people, and it was really fun. I'm really sorry, Jimmy. I didn't mean to do that to you. I had no clue that I was going to land any of the stuff I was trying with that gigantic 14.6 board. Yeah, that is correct. Nollie back threes. Because, let me think about this. Nollie back. Yeah, it makes sense. Don't know why it makes sense, but it makes sense. Agreed. Yeah, Mac, really easy. That was the first stance Gazelle spin I ever did was in Nollie for some reason. And I had no Nollie tricks when I had that. Indy. There you go. Heck yeah. Born and raised. You might have. Skateboard Maker YouTube. If you're new to the channel here, I make skateboards for Life Skateboards. You can get them on lifeskateboard.com. The conversation here tends to go from talking about skateboarding, talking about board making, and then we do get into talks about sobriety and things like that and create a safe space for people to talk about it. Both I and the owner are addicts in recovery, and we'd like to talk about our stories to encourage people that are in positions that we were in, that there's a way out. So, thanks, bud. What am I working on? This is a customer order right here. Big old 13-inch skateboard. Am I on crack? No. I used to do it though. Used to be I'd do everything that was put in front of me kind of guy. But nah, not anymore though, fam. Thanks for the question though. I'd be moving all over the place. You'd see me shaking and stuff. I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. I'd be trying to go get my next score. That episode gets me every time, Grassy. There we go. Keep it up with the It's Always Sunny references. But yeah, my main vice was alcohol, and that just kind of opened the door up for everything else. Been sober from alcohol for, God, I think it's coming up on 6 years now. I think 3 or 4 for everything else. There was a period of time where I was still smoking, doing hallucinogenics, and then realized that those were taking up a large portion of my life. Just kind of like how the other addictions were doing, and just went clean. So it definitely is. That was my choice. I used to be skating around with a pint of UV in each pocket. And that was just to get me until I could afford the rest of the bottle. And now I'm here. So, sharing something I love with a bunch of strangers. It's awesome. Who the hell ordered that? What do you mean? Our customers. So there's this cool thing in skateboarding, and I'm going to be a smartass now. If you're not used to me being a smartass, get used to it. There's this thing in skateboarding called preference and called having fun. It is really fun. Some people like these because they're just fun to play with. Some people like them because they like the stability. Some people like them because they like them. That's skateboarding. Some people skate 775s, and I don't understand it. It bothers me. But I'm not going to be upset with them. So, still gonna make the thing that bothers me, like popsicles. I think popsicles are dumb because you have to look down and be bored by a thing that looks like the trash from a popsicle. No, don't do that. You get a shaped board, but even if you want a popsicle, we'll make them for you. There you go. Hey, what's up, Easy? Thanks for hopping in here. Thank you. These are all shape templates here. Acquired over the years through either Sam's brain, my brain, or customer custom requests. Doing all right, bud? Wow. Isn't that awesome? Congratulations, by the way, on 10 years. That's awesome. I think it's really cool that some of the people that deal with some of the heaviest addictions or go through periods of extreme addiction, and that's a strange thing to say because addiction is addiction, but it seems like people that tend to have had it pretty hard are the people that come out on the other side and want to help people that were in their shoes. I don't know. There's something really beautiful about that. 13 years clean. Congratulations, Maddie. Do I have a favorite that I personally skate? Yep, I designed the Casper 3.0, the one that we will be shaping next. It's my favorite shape. We just got to clean up the rails on this board, and then we can get to shaping that guy. You got to go to AA. If you need to, you can. It's okay. AA is an awesome way to get together with people with a like-minded idea. And being able to just kind of let things out in an anonymous space. It didn't work for me. I really enjoy that Sam, the owner, and I had different paths to sobriety because we can offer people different advice for different paths. It definitely works for some people. Tons of success stories, so. Wow, Maddie, that is huge. I'm so glad you're still here, my friend, because that is a powerful story to be able to tell. Feel free to drop more about that in the chat for people. A lot of people are here watching, reading the chat that I've found there's people that don't feel comfortable enough to share what they need to hear. And that sounds like something that people need to hear. Really proud of you guys. Awesome to hear. And I almost apologized. I'm not going to apologize for talking about sobriety or addiction, because had a stranger not been kind enough to me to talk to me about sobriety and help me get through addiction, I'd be dead. So totally fine with letting discussions about sobriety kind of take the spotlight on these lives sometimes. Continue to be open, Maddie. It's important. I really do think that everyone sharing their story just creates an opportunity for people that were in their shoes to see how many different paths there are out of it, if that makes sense. For example, there's an interview on my channel from Bam Margera. You got to scroll back quite a ways to get to it. But about him talking about the predatory rehab situation that he was in. Something to watch out for that people don't really fully understand, that sometimes not all rehabs are good. I'll be 32 real soon. How long does the sandpaper last? It really depends on the board. As soon as I'm noticing, I can kind of feel when it starts to go. Even if I'm going like that, I can't feel it as well as when I'm using it. Usually makes it through like 2-3 boards. That would be what we go through the most as far as equipment. Yeah, Novak has a great story, that's for sure. 32. I will be 32. Hi there, Mr. ButcherTube. If you'd like to stick around so I can explain some things to you and teach you to not jump to conclusions when you're scrolling through your phone. So this right here is a HEPA-approved dust extractor. If you don't know what HEPA-approved dust extractor is, it's been great. Hold on, I got something specifically for you. Hold on. It's not close enough to what you said, but it's pretty close. It's getting there. I almost had this ready for you, almost. So this is a HEPA-approved dust extractor. These things are rated to be used in like hospitals or places where people can't breathe in anything that's foreign. So this, I believe it was 99.97% of all fine dust particles get picked up by this thing. And then when you see me move over there, you'll see me put this guy on right here. Butcher, did you stick around so you could learn something? It's okay, we can all learn something. I don't think Butcher stuck around to learn something. So, again, this is a HEPA-approved dust extractor. It's not just a dust extractor. This is a Festool vacuum system right here. Festool. We don't understand that that's 99.97% of all fine particles being picked up right there. Take it up with Festool, not me. Okay? Love you guys. Just remember, take it up with Festool, not me. Oh, no. Nope. What in the Rob Schneider jokes are you saying over there? Hi there, Full Send. I appreciate that you feel comfortable enough to announce that here, and I'll support you with anything you need. But as far as support goes on that, but we're here to talk about skateboards. Damn, 2 people getting kicked at the same time. Asked the same question twice when I answered it. And you go ahead and get gone from the channel for a while. That's the first 2. Yeah, dude, it's Sam. Sam is so good at getting good deals on really good equipment. He's got the mouse, the other Orbital. The reason we use that DeWalt is because I'm putting the Orbital pad and the Orbital itself through quite a bit of strain, sanding it the way I am. So we'd rather toss the DeWalt and create a seal. So that's all I do on that is I create a seal into the same attachment that the Festool tool would use. But yeah, Sam is, I don't know how he does it, but Sam seems to be able to get a hold of some crazy equipment for a lot cheaper than most people can. But all right, wait, we were doing something. I think I was doing my work. Yeah. All right. Looks to me that this guy's done. A little bit more love right here. And we got one more to do. Hello, fellow Earthling. Can I land a tray flip in 5 tries? Hey, I mean, you can probably just like go watch videos of me skateboarding. They're a couple clicks away. I just posted a tray flip on one of these boards the other day. Also, tray flips are a very easy trick, especially on a normal board, normal-ish board. I swear, Sam has the secret contacts. This dude ends up with some of the craziest stuff too. Like, I helped him pick up a walk-in cooler once. I don't understand how he gets these offers and deals. Sam, if you hop in here, please know that we're all going to grill you on where you get your connections. Is that a cutting board or a banquet platter? I think it would suck for like either of those. It's got good concave. You want to see a cool cutting board? Thank you for the opportunity to share this with you guys. What the heck? This is from our buddy over at Life Without Limits. This is one of our graphics. He wood burned into a cutting board. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? It's rad. He does all the patches that I turn into hats and stuff for the channel, which are available on the Life Skateboards website. It's lifeskateboard.com. You can get the Days with Casper merch there as well. All right. Really quickly here. A little bit of excess glue touch to this one. All right. Now it's important these guys get stacked straight in a stack of their own concave. That way they don't warp or snap back at all. And we will move on to the Casper 2.0. It was a good joke, Nick. It's okay. If you stick around, you'll know that I'm a smart ass, and I'm sorry. That's just how I respond. It seems to upset somebody earlier pretty bad, but stick around. You'll get used to it. Am I missing something? I think I do, bud. Matt, keep giving people advice in the chat there. If I'm not keeping up with it, keep giving people sobriety advice. That's important. I appreciate you. All right. Put my hair up in this hat again. That's what happened. My whole damn hair tie fell out. Dummy. Sitting here wondering why it's not staying up in my hat. Do we make birdhouses? For fun sometimes, like for my birds out back. Are you talking about the brand? Because we make Life Skateboards, not birdhouse skateboards. I didn't say it, Grassy Knoll said it. I just noticed that your Grassy Knoll 1963, I just noticed your whole username. You're my new favorite subscriber. You guys want to hear something fun? I wrote an essay, or I wrote a whole term paper in high school about the JFK stuff and failed it because my teacher disagreed with me. We could get into a whole deep discussion on that. I don't know. We might end up doing Casper's conspiracy dives. Booger boards. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes I blow my nose on these. Sorry, guys. You're right. You caught me. You caught me. Sorry, Marty. Alrighty. Get these guys here. So this is the Casper 3.0. It's a board I designed. Yeah, it's HEPA snot. You know it. HEPA approved snot. It's got 0.003% sawdust in it. just for you guys. All right. So this is the nose on the Casper 3.0. I wanted to give it some versatility, so I made it a knuckle. Whoopsies. Absolutely. And the other thing, like, that's a very good comparison. The other thing is, like, even if you fail, it's okay. You can get back up and do it again. That's the cool thing. I don't know. I tend to be in some groups on Facebook of people that are in recovery, and that's where people go when they relapse or things like that, or start struggling. I always remind people after a relapse that it is so much more important to have a new sobriety date than a date on a tombstone, because some people relapse and they're like, all right, that's it, I'm done, give up. You don't need to do that. You can just start back over right then. You got a new sobriety date, and you can move on with the rest of your life. It's kind of like dropping in. If you drop in and eat shit, you're like, ah, damn it, all right, I'm done, never doing that again. Well then, what are you doing? Everybody fell the first time they tried. Pretty much everybody. That's a very good comparison there, bud. I like that. come back over here, and then I'm done with customer boards. Dang, this mic is not happy with... Oh man, guys, no one reminded me to go check the weather. We'll find out in a minute. When I'm done with these customer boards, we'll go from there. All right, time to throw the respirator off. Now it's time to catch up with the chat. Bye, Jacob. Thank you, buddy. I'm not here to satisfy your kinks. I'm sorry. Wow, man. I'm really sorry to hear that, Easy. That is really hard to hear. See, that's why, I don't know. Even like when I'm in comments and stuff, I still over-explain things I'm saying, or especially talking about sobriety, and I encourage everybody to share their stories, because sometimes it's not even the people that we're talking to that get the message. It's just somebody scrolling by, reading through comments, or anything like that. Well, digital, change that. You're from Cincy, bud? That's rad. One of these shapes came from Cincy. Lou Ross designed one of these. That'd be the Aggro. You remember Fickle Skateboards? You're having issues with checkout on the site, you can either contact Sam through the Life Skateboards Instagram. When I get off of the live here, you can contact me through that and I'll help you through it. You can email me right now at askdayswithcasper and I'll make sure I get back to you right after this live is done. And or you can ask right here if you're comfortable with it. Sometimes when you're at checkout, if you don't put the contact information in, it doesn't let it go through. And sometimes it is a very heavy website, so it does tend to want you to use specific browsers. So I'm sorry to hear that, Maddie, but man, you're doing the right thing now, living right by them. Getting sober and sharing your sobriety. How does the shipping work? So the shipping is through the website. That's all Sam. I don't have anything to do with that. International shipping is a flat rate, and then it is calculated at the end of the order. Absolutely, Maddie. And then as far as shipping goes, for you getting notified, when a shipping label is printed, it will send you a notification. We have had some issues lately where it doesn't send that notification. So you can always ask us for an update. Asking me for an update tends to be me rewatching these lives to see which shape I shaped, because I don't remember very well. I have the memory of a dead goldfish and the recall of a comatose one. But I forgot what I was saying. Oh, man. I just did it to myself. But I agree with you. Definitely. Definitely important to be together in this kind of situation here. So you got 7 plies of Great Lakes or Canadian maple. Everything comes as a standard 7 besides our youth boards. Those come as a standard 6. But you can get a 6, 7, or 8. And I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I think 5 is too little. I think that's not stable enough. Somebody broke us. Somebody must have been asking Sam for a long time, because these are 2 5-ply layups that I pressed the other day. This thing is like so light. This is like nothing. So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens with that. I'm gonna wait for I would want to wait for customer feedback until we started recommending that. But you can get 6, 7, or 8 ply. We suggested 6 ply on our 13-inch boards. 7 ply standard. I proved my point in the middle of explaining it. Good. It was asking me questions. All right, I'm back to it. Asking me questions about your order involves me asking Sam. So you can try Sam, and then I'll just bug him a little bit more from my end. Yep, 6 ply. So that 5 ply there is for an adult customer of ours that started with the 7 ply, went to a 6 ply, and was like, you know, this has lasted me a while. Maybe I can try 5. So we'll see. It cures tomorrow, so I expect to be able to shape that by the end of the week. My heavy-footed ass would snap that when I'm trying to push. I say that. It's still like, as a 5-ply, like it flexes, but not much. Like that's so, that thing has 3 vertical veneers and two crossbands in it. That's it. Majority of the time you've got face, core, crossband, core, crossband, core, and face. This is missing all of that core besides one. It's kind of wild. Customer is usually right. I learned that one when I worked at Jimmy John's. Usually right. But if the customer wants us to put a heat transfer on it, we're going to tell them kick rocks. I will say that. Heat transfers suck. But we'll also probably educate them on why they suck. I think a lot of the customer base in skateboarding tends to not be very well educated on the equipment that they use, and that's fine, because what's the point of being educated on things that are inconsistent across the industry and dishonest across the industry as well. You're the Mayo Master? I went straight from driver to assistant manager there. I had 1 in-shop shift before they made me a manager. That was crazy. As we've established, I was not sober at the time. Very difficult, probably not very smart to be running such a tight ship when you're not the sober one. Jimmy John's is 80% bread. That was most of my job, was making the bread. You see, Jimmy John's opened at like 10:30 and I got in there at 5 to start the bread. It was not a fun time, I'll tell you that. But when you go to Jimmy John's, just no matter which sandwich you get, tell them to take the bread out. And if they don't do that, they don't know what they're doing. That makes it so like the meat and cheese and shit fits right inside of the bread, like perfectly. Take a little thing. How did we get to talking about sandwiches here, guys? Oh, that was my fault. Damn it. Again, goldfish brain. Sorry. Heavenly bread, yeah, that's for sure. a pretty good conversation. Agreed. So now, I personally skate the Vans Crockett highs. I really like the toe box on them. And the high top seems a little bit more padded than the other highs. I've got hardware in my leg from snapping my fibula, so it's nice to have something that catches the board before it sends shockwaves through my leg from hitting the metal. But I really like those, but I also skate DKL non-abrasive grip tape and use FP insoles. Mid-top Vans, those people do like those. I have to have high tops. The hardware in my ankle comes up to right here. You guys hear that? Oh damn, I didn't know you could hear that. Hold on, we're playing a game. I'm gonna go back and watch this in a minute. It's a weird position for me to be in, but I got you. That sounds weird. I didn't know my ankle did that. Oh, these right here, I will not skate in. Partially because of the owner and partially because they're slip-on. My ankle makes a hollow sound when you tap it. I didn't know that. We all found something out today. When you meet a skateboarder who's lacked insurance the majority of their life, we all have some weird things going on with our bodies. Really? So that was a spiral fracture on my ankle. I wonder if it's a pretty common injury for the spiral fracture to be in the same spot. Yeah, email me with the x-ray. I want to see it. I've got a board that I designed in the shape of the x-ray. You forget it, I haven't flown. I guess I haven't flown at all since I did that, so. Now you're scaring me. I mean, look at me. They're definitely gonna bring me back for a full surge. Has anybody been here for me to show you my floating rib that pops around? We can get weird. I love it, dude. Easy, hold up. I'm gonna show you something. And then we're pretty much done. Here you go, easy. So this is called the fibula, right there. I designed it to match up with my x-ray. It's a one-off board. It's fun. I do? Oh no. What does an Iranian spy look like? I couldn't come up with any jokes on the spot. I apologize, my bad. Sorry, I guess my ankle's weird. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Grassy Knoll. We're gonna one day I'm gonna get on a live here and it's gonna be you, and we're just gonna discuss all of the JFK stuff. Deal? And it's gonna be a long way down the road. We're just gonna sit here and talk about the Wink, the Grassy Knoll, Jack Ruby, the Magic Bullet. Was it the Driver? We're gonna do it. Deal. Thanks for tuning in though, man. Hey, Nick, you just missed my new favorite subscriber, the Grassy Knoll. It took me a minute to realize that it's the Grassy Knoll and the date of the assassination. I don't think I'm allowed to say that on YouTube right now. Seems like a hostile time to be talking about that. We're just gonna pretend that we were making jokes about the Whitest Kids You Know skit, okay? Okay. Oh, awesome. That's new to me. Awesome. Well, I'm glad it got worked out. I had no clue about that. Days with conspiracy. You guys don't want me to turn into the old truth seeker Casper, I promise. Listen, my Instagram is like, I posted multiple times a day, every day for almost a decade, so you gotta go back far to see when I was a spun out conspiracy theorist. And I mean like wild, but you know. In the end, you left it on. It's working, man. It's working. So yeah, I'm gonna talk to the boss man about that. We can be mad at reality, or I don't know. Or you can just create your own, you know? Look at me. The world's burning around everywhere, and I'm sitting here making skateboards and sharing it with you guys, and I get to smile a little bit while I do it. So you never know, man. You never know. You guys want to know a little bit of history? There's not very many here, so we're gonna have a little intimate conversation about things I used to do. That would be scary, man, because I will go down rabbit holes. I was so mentally ill without caring about it and exasperating it with drugs and alcohol that there was like 5 or 6 years of my life where no one knew what I looked like because I wore a full face mask in public, at shows, at the skate park, at contests, everywhere. I was pretty crazy. A lot of people know me from back then. That's awesome, Braden. We're doing a weather check. Ow. See, look, guys, the sun is out. All right, give it another hour, it's gonna be snowing sideways, I promise. I don't understand, this is Indiana, but yeah, there you go. Now you guys know what Crazy Casper used to be like. We have taken a long time on this board. I clocked out a while ago. Give me a moment here, guys. Go grab myself my drink. You've had snow for a week straight. Yesterday it was 60 degrees. The day before, yesterday morning, it was in the 50s, and then it reached the 60s. We had a tornado watch last night until 3 a.m. I woke up to the snow. It's been snowing sideways and sunny, and then every once in a while we go outside and it's beautiful, just a little bit wet. And then you'll go back outside and it's just gray and just zero visibility snow. I have no clue what's going on in Indiana right now. Aloha from Hawaii. Well, aloha to you too, because you must have beautiful weather out there right now. I bet you do. Retracted? I wanted to know what it was. All right, give me a moment here, guys. Grabbing my shit in the other room. Grabbing it. All right. So we just got to finish this board up, and then I'll shape one of mine, and then we'll be back in tomorrow to do graphics on my board and Chuck's board and possibly some customer boards. Sam does the majority of the graphics, but I want to alleviate some work for him. I'm glad that, is it slowing down though? How do you retract a message? I have no clue. Oh. Yeah, Nick, teach us how to retract a message. I don't know. I'm never on the other side of these things at all. I fear that I'll like bother someone on a live or like ask questions. Oh, is that easy? Is it just like a little option on there for you guys? I wish that from my end, I had the option to subscribe back to you guys on the chat. I really wish I did, because sometimes people pop in here that have like really cool stuff and content that I want to watch, and then I got to screenshot it and check it later. Oh, we got everybody doing it here. Thanks, Nick. Just wind. I can hear the wind. We're in a pole barn, so it is rattling. And that's it for that there. This one's ready for a customer. I would do their graphic, considering it is my shape. Whenever anybody orders my shape, if I get a chance to, I like to do up the graphic a little bit more than normal, just out of appreciation. But just in case they requested something specific, I'm gonna leave this up to Sam. A little bit more touch up on the tail here. And remember guys, because I'm doing these lives, it does take a little bit longer. Really? Now we all learned. Look at that, we're all learning technology here. Thanks for hanging out with the guy that doesn't know what he's doing on YouTube. What we got here? So, I'm gonna show you why this is my board. So whenever you see me, this is the majority of the time, I'm skating blemished boards from us. We don't let these boards reach customers, and we always get the suggestion, like, just sell them at a discount. Not a good idea. It puts boards out there with lower quality. We never want our quality, the quality that's attached to our name, to be tarnished. So this right here, probably aren't able to see it very well, but there is a split underneath this glue line right here. So can't reach a customer, perfectly fine for me. Because if that split has any actual physical gap, I'll just go ahead and epoxy it and it'll be good as new for me. But we don't cover up our mistakes for customers, just ourselves. I'm over here pulling the tape off of this as if it's for a customer board for some reason. All right, you know what? Grassy Knoll is back. Was it LBJ? Probably. There's a whole book about it. Awesome, Brianna. Which one did you, what shape did you get? And I'm sorry if this conversation falls into conspiracy in a moment here, because it might. All right? I don't talk about conspiracies too much anymore, but we get there. See, there we go. You still think the driver did it. Now that is a very good theory. Now LBJ had it done. Why did he have it done? All right, guys, this is it. Days with Conspiracy Casper is here. You goated it out of me. All right, so explain to me why LBJ had everybody ready to go and a plane ready to go to swear him in, and the guy that swore him in winked at him while he's pretty much got brain matter on him. Like, that doesn't seem right. And then what about Jack Ruby? You know, the guy that killed Oswald, right? I believe there were multiple shooters. I do believe that. Okay, Texas School, all right. Grassy Knoll, you're doing great. You're succeeding at life right there. This message is, okay guys, we gotta be careful. They're here now. I do feel bad for Jackie as well. You got the Popsicle 8.5, awesome, that'll be great. 8.5 is a great size. He's gonna love the concave. It's very deep. It takes a second to get used to, but once you do, it hugs your feet, easier for flip tricks. And the guy that made it is easy to switch back and forth between talking about skateboarding and who clearly didn't kill JFK, which was Lee Harvey Oswald. Listen here, guys. Jack Ruby owned the bar that the CIA was at the night before the assassination. Jack Ruby is the man who killed Lee Harvey Oswald. Jack Ruby had terminal cancer. I'm putting two and two together here, all right? And then a magic bullet. one bullet bounces through people and then hits them in the head? Really? You know what? No, here's my theory. His head just did that. And then decades later, his nephew had to put out an even more disturbing video, which was that workout. You know, I'm not going to even talk about that. Tylenol's bad. All right, there we go. That was the most unhinged thing you'll get me to say today. We're going to be done with conspiracy theories. Yeah, the magic bullet thing gets me really bad. But we just drifted into me talking about my opinion on current politics, and we're not going to do that. Anyway, 6:15. Screenshotting that so I can clock out with that later. That froze at a really weird time. Sorry about that. I can't believe I just said that on a live. I'm sorry, guys. I try. No. It doesn't matter to me either. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, I don't think people forgot about it. I think people got sick of arguing with people over it. Don't really think people forgot about it. I'm sure that scarred a lot of people, unfortunately. Like, no matter what you think about the guy, seeing that probably scarred a lot of people. But then again, I do not. I don't want to share my opinion too heavily. But I'll share my opinion like this. The civil rights movement was not a mistake. It was a step in the right direction for humanity and for the United States. Redlining and things like that caused problems for disenfranchised communities that were intentionally disenfranchised, and other programs were created to undo that damage. And I'm going to leave my opinion at that. Cool? Yeah. There we go. No more politics. No more politics. I will say that I had no clue who the hell that guy was outside of like South Park planning to make fun of him before that happened. I will say that. I don't know. I'm gonna challenge that motto right there. Remember that we're on my time now. I'm just shaping my own board. The shut up and skate thing, like, I get it for a lot of things. It makes a lot of sense for a lot of stuff. But I've also noticed that, like, some really shitty people have brought that mentality into, like, oh, don't call these people out for abuse, or don't call these people out for like the Dane Berman thing. People were telling people to shut up and skate because they were talking about what Dane Berman got caught doing, or what Chris Cole did. People were saying, like, just shut up and skate. No, it's not cool. We should not be putting these people on a pedestal that are doing that. However, I do agree with you where it's like, my favorite shape is a popsicle. My favorite shape is a egg-shaped board. Let's not argue about it. Let's just skate. You know what I mean? Like, there you go. Shut up and skate. That's where it makes sense. Wasn't it cool when we didn't know that they were shitty people? Agreed. Yeah, see, robot, it's weird. Like, it's such an important mentality for certain things, but man, people really hijack that mentality for their own benefit. It's silly. But then again, that's humanity. It's what happens. it's what happens. I mean, I grew up really liking those videos. Chris Cole's Pro Board was one of my first professional boards I ever had as a kid. It just sucks that he's a, for lack of a better word, little bitch that puts his hand on women. I mean, that's my opinion. Put your hands on women and you get away. Stay out of the scene. Thank you. I appreciate that, Brianna. That means a lot. I agree with you, Angry. I agree with you. I don't think people should die for their beliefs. I think some people should get shunned for their actions. Agreed. Yeah, see, Matt, it's, I don't know. It was, like, growing up with it, it was just like, I enjoyed it, and I don't know why. Whether it was, like, the stiff style, I don't really know, like, looking back on it, why I cared so much about him. But, like, now it's like, and we're going to get into another thing where, you know, maybe there's a chance for forgiveness and retribution in those sort of situations, but Chris Cole's victim tried to talk about it on a podcast and he tried to sue her for it. So that's a big old no, 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 no right there. It's kind of like what we're dealing with here locally. And I'm not going to name names, even though I've been told to. I'm not going to. We got somebody that put his hands on women repeatedly. And, you know, he was drunk. He was going through some shit. It is what it is. He can make every excuse he wants in the book, but the only time he's ever going to get any type of retribution is when he admits that what he did was wrong, which he's not accepting that he did. And so there is no forgiveness in that situation. Dang, how did we get here? We talked about skateboards, the JFK conspiracy, and now we're here talking about... Oh, this is just a normal live. What am I talking about? This is all normal. Why do you people ride with loose trucks? So what you're saying is you get wheel bite and it slows you down. Go fast. Power through it. I get wheel bite real bad. You just wax your spots and power through it. You should see what Luke skates. His board rattles. And I mean rattles. He has no washers. I skate no bottom washer. You people. I remember that happening with Chris Brown, and then that was the last time I heard that name until now. Great question, Grassy. So, early in the process, we used to just use this right here. That is very hard on this bit. If you can't tell, Sam even built a stabilizer for it. So now, dang, that sucks, Maddie. I didn't know that. Oh, and people really don't care. They really like to separate the artist from the art, or whatever that is that people say. You know who can't do that? They're victims. That's sad. But anyway, now Sam cuts a lot of the material away with this right here, and then we bring it in here to finish off the shape cutting. Good question though there. Dang. Oh. All right, give me another moment here, guys. I'm kind of taking my time finishing this live off. Sorry. It's not snowing sideways yet. Whew. But yeah, I will probably be back in here tomorrow to finish this guy up, graphic-wise. And also, I'll be adding a graphic to Chuck Bennett's board, and reshaping and epoxying another board for my buddy Luke, right here. Actually, if you want to see Luke skate, you were talking about loose trucks, right? Go to Bam Margera's Instagram, and go to the most recent clip of somebody else skating. That would be Luke Nation, skating one of these boards at one of the local indoors here. I sent Bam that clip. Makes me happy whenever he posts a clip I send him. I send him all of Luke's clips because Luke's phone destroys the clips. How much does it cost to make a board? I don't know, man. I'm the employee, not the owner. How much does it cost to have one made? $75 for a popsicle, and then shapes go up from there. Absolutely. Yep. Day One Song versus Rodney Mullen, one of the greatest games of skate to ever go down. But Day One only does that with one truck. Luke does it with two. But Luke looked like he's floating around a ramp. I love it. It makes me happy. I got close with Luke when we were just bouncing tricks off of each other at majors one day. He does a lot of combo tricks that I really like. Oh, you know it. Slippery bowls. The Life Bowl is a real slippery one too. Also, if you guys are in the Midwest, April 11th, I think, please check my Instagram if I have the date wrong. We're gonna have another public Life Bowl session. That'll be $5 entry, 2 o'clock to 10 p.m. at 410 West Power Street, Muncie, Indiana. It's a 4 to 5 foot bowl, very slick. I Koch wash it before the session. We might have a contest portion. I'm still talking to a financial sponsor about that. If you're watching right now and want to become a financial sponsor for it, basically what that means is I just say the name of your company or whatever it is over and over again, and then whatever you donate would be towards a cash prize. But we'll see what happens. Rodney is definitely the godfather. And a great soul, you're right. His conversation with Andy Anderson was absolutely beautiful. Yep, that's right, Blake. Some more of those TED Talks, that's for sure. He is a rad individual. Definitely somebody I'd love to meet one day. Hopefully I'll be able to. I don't know. Most of the pros that I get to meet are like the 80s vert pros. And some street guys like Ron Allen, Jim Gray, Eric Dressen, Chad Muska. Hopefully one day I can meet him. So we are now cleaning this up. The more excess glue I'm dealing with, the faster this happens. There's quite a bit of excess glue on this guy because, like I said, there was a split. Eric Dressen, you know it. Yeah, I go to the Welfare Line Bash out in Cleveland. It's going to get moved this year. But it's usually Jim Gray and Eric Dressen and Ron Allen. Yep, we use Tight Bond 2. Tight Bond 2. show you guys graphics, but like I said, I do my own wheel wells on the board, so might as well do some wheel wells on this guy. They're not going to be that pretty, but I can show you how they're done. Thank you, I appreciate it. You know the cool thing about this is when you tell people to get these boards, you get to yell, "Get a life!" And you just want them to have a high quality handcrafted board that's made to last. I will warn you, results may vary on yelling "Get a life" at people with no context. We know you're talking about a high quality handcrafted skateboard deck. The people that are in my messages cussing me out for doing that with no context online do not know that. Just a warning. Yep, it's a jig with a drum attachment for a drill. I'll show you in a little bit here. It's Sam's jig. It's a jig that's made out of a base plate and a bushing. Woo! Look at that, guys. My seal broke. Time to fix that real quick. And that's why I need to wear a respirator on everything else. You will find there are days when this thing is not working. And I definitely put a respirator on when it's not working, because this creates a lot of fine dust. This guy's good to go, and I'm gonna add wheel wells in. This is my personal board. Remember, Sam does all of the customer wheel wells. I am gonna do a little experiment here. Thanks for sticking around for the experiment. I used to be real stubborn about it until I started coughing up funky colors. All right. I am grabbing a very rarely used jig here, simply because I am bad at the placement for these. Sam's really good at it. I'm not. Oh, dang. Yeah. That ain't gonna cut it, man. So I'm going to be marking this guy here. and then marking it again. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tape off where the wheel wells are, sand through the tape, and then when I do the graphic itself, I'm going to roll the wheel wells to make the wheel wells their own color. And I'll probably roll the edge of the deck itself as well. This is just a little extra experiment going on here. I still do, Blake. Regardless of the fact there's a camera pointed at me the majority of my life, I still do some of those old fun things. Oh, don't worry. I will probably make it look bad when I grip it. I use DKL non-abrasive grip, and I've been using it for 2.5 years, and I still can't get a perfectly clean cut. All right, let's go ahead and mark this off here for the wheel wells. Same on the front truck bed. Again, this is just extra work for myself. Because I want to do a fun experiment. All right. Let's get a respirator on, get the horse out, and let's do it. Let's get you guys a little closer here. You should see some of the work that I put into boards that I end up putting my foot through. It kind of pisses me off. I tend to learn some pretty heavy-footed tricks, so. All right, let's get the horse out here. Let's get my respirator on. Respirator? I don't even know her. Wrap this tape around the edge. And again, you guys are watching an experiment. Things could go wrong here. They could go right too. All right, so here's that jig right there. Here's this bit. Not much, Jedi. What's up with you, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. I also haven't been here in a minute, so I got no right to say that. It's been a minute to the point where I was sitting here like, dang, why isn't this fitting on an impact? Dummy. All right. we're double checking something here. Starting right there. I am seeing how many plies Sam tends to send this through. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna keep going here for a minute. Oops. I forgot how to count for a second, guys. Sorry. There we go. Got one peeking through right there. And there we go. What's wrong with the board? There's nothing wrong with it. This is my personal board. Sam tends to put wheel wells in for customers. I figured I'd use this opportunity to put my own wheel wells in. Our plan almost worked here. Let me grab a razor blade. So the intent of this tape here was to be able to roll the ink on my wheel wells later. I don't even know if that's going to work. We'll find out tomorrow. Still want to bring these in just a little bit here. All right, there's my wheel wells. As you can tell, there's a reason Sam does these. And I'm just going to do my front wheel wells because I take a lot of impact on the tail here. So currently trying to get forward moving 540s off of stair sets. So probably going to make sure I don't do anything to the tail there. All right, there we go. So it's 6:50, I gotta be out of here at 7. Where are we based out of? We are in New Pal, Indiana, just 20 minutes east of Indianapolis. We were in Muncie for a very long time and then moved down here. A custom snow skate. So that's, I'm catching up with all this stuff here. Jedi, did you know, so go on Instagram, check out Mech Shift Snow Skate. It's MEK Shift Snow Skate. We've sold that guy several boards and he makes them into snow skates. And it's always the big boards. I know it was a joke, but like, it's kind of cool. He takes the really big boards, puts a ski on them, and then this dude is like going down like mountains and stuff with our skateboards. It's insane. I love it. I love seeing it. He's got a cord attached to it, just like a normal board though, or that thing would be just a bullet going down there. What size do I skate? So that's a 925 at the widest there. That's actually the shape that I skate. I designed that one. That's the Casper signature. I ride 9-inch trucks with it, and it matches it just perfect. What's up? The other Casper popped in here to say hi, man. What's up, bud? Glad you're here. Ooh. So yeah, now that we just touched this up, I gotta get out of here in a few minutes. Why did I do that? Because I like to roll the edges of the board too. It's a lot of work on a customer board, but for my board, I like to do it. What you doing? I'm finishing up a personal board with a little bit of an experiment on it here. If you're new to the channel, this is Days with Casper. My name's Casper Jones. I handcraft skateboards for Life Skateboards, and you can get them at lifeskateboard.com. Just doing a personal at the end here. You won't, well, you skate 9 stairs. Well, then come November, get yourself over to Lawrence, Indiana. We've got an 8 stair that we always host a contest at. Impact has not really been the same for me since I spiral fractured my fibula for some reason. I know that sounds like an excuse, but. All right, Grassy Knoll, time for us to. I'm going to be honest, the reason I have this on is because I didn't have any other sweatshirt on, and the reason I have an apron on is because I don't want to blanket show this anymore. They were awesome. They were so good. And then they sold, and their new CEO sucks. They sent, I did like some commercials for them, like commercials, I mean like posts on Instagram and stuff for them. They sent me a big box of stuff. And now their new CEO just sucks, dude. It's weird. They tried to sue Liquid Death for the rights to make coffee. I don't understand. I now support this guy, John. He does aromatic roasters out in North Carolina, making small batch coffee. It's really good stuff. Ooh, nice. Yeah, we got 9s here, man. 9s all day. Okay, hold on. We were talking about coffee. This is not Death Wish skateboards. This is coffee right here. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, although, there you go. I did that a long time. I don't even remember doing that. But there's your, I feel bad now. Yes, they were under, what was it, B2B distribution? Thank you. I got real confused there for a minute. Back when they were decent skateboards. I'm gonna be thinking about what I want to do for the graphic on this all night. I am. This is gonna keep me up at night. Do I want to do real? I don't know. I'll think about it. What am I gonna do with this? You guys will find out tomorrow. But all right, guys, I better get off of here. Go pick up the lady from work. Remember, if you want to watch board making, anything like that, you can catch videos of us traveling. We go out to the lagoon a lot. We'll be going to Stoke Run at the end of the month for the Save Stoke Run event. I try to make videos out of those as much as I can. Health issues have kind of kept me from traveling for a minute, but we got those figured out. So hopefully back on track soon. Just got to get the funds back up, and you guys help with that, with all your views and all that whatnot. And also ordering boards always helps. Anything else I need to talk about? Oh yeah, make sure you go to Slam City Skate Park on Instagram. They're doing a Power Hour contest where they invited a bunch of us up there for an hour at a time, pointed a camera at us, and it'll be a contest for the video that's made out of it. Today's first video got posted, and that would be Aiden. Check him out, he's rad. I haven't even seen any of the clips that are going in my edit. I was just in the mode of landing stuff and having fun, and then I wanted to rush over and skate another park. So I'm excited to see how what I did looked. I'm excited to see everybody else's skateboarding, and I'm just excited to see it all. It's Ran Through Creature with Tim Barron stuff, so we'll see. We'll see what's up. But you guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you guys later. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I love it. I will for sure. I'm going to go out to Pennsylvania at some point this summer again. Go see Jake, Danny, and Bam, because I need to go hang out with Jake a little bit more. So, but you guys have a good one. Get a life at lifeskateboard.com. You're rad. Thanks. Bye-bye. I don't know how to hit the X